They call it Christmas in June, folks. Happy 6-9, everybody. We wait all year for June 9th, and if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, well, just like the video anyway. If you want to have a very, very nice day, hit that thumbs up icon, and if for no other reason, remember, the month of June is all about likes here at Chat Sports. So like this video if you want Chiefs Kingdom to come out on top. Welcome into the Chiefs Report. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. On today's show, we're going to take a look at some potential cut candidates as, hey, in a couple of months, Brett Veach, Andy Reid, they're going to have to trim from 90 down to 53. So I thought I'd mention some notable names that could be on the outside looking in. OTAs wrapping up this week for Kansas City as mandatory minicamp is set to get going next week. That, of course, will take place from June 14th through 16th. We'll have you covered here on the Chiefs Report, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. And then, of course, training camp in late July as well as the offseason's zooming along. We're getting closer and closer to real, meaningful football for your Kansas City Chiefs. And like I mentioned, the further we progress here in the offseason, the more decisions, or at least closer to those decisions, Brett Veach and Andy Reid are as they continue to evaluate this roster based on OTAs, minicamp, and then, of course, training camp, which is coming up here in just about a month or a month and a half. Before we get to 5 cut candidates from myself, name a player that you think the Chiefs should go ahead and cut loose, move on from this offseason. Let me know down in the comment section, and then I will break down my list of 5 cut candidates. All right, 5 players the Chiefs could cut before week 1. Some notable players as well. How about Josh Gordon? Josh Gordon, who signed with the Chiefs, week 3, week 4 last year, whatever it was, pretty early in the year. And we were like, okay, this risk-reward signing, see what he does. And quite frankly, he pretty much did nothing. I mean, by the end of the year, he wasn't even active on game days for Kansas City. Him and Patrick Mahomes never seemed to get on the same page. Now, I will say for a guy like Josh Gordon, hard to hop on midseason, get those reps at the quarterback, because a lot of fans don't know this. During the season, practices, not really hardcore practices. You're kind of getting your body right for game day, working on, game planning more than anything else. So Gordon probably didn't get a lot of those reps with Mahomes. If you cut Gordon, saves $900,000, dead cap is 0. And look, let's be honest. While I'm optimistic and excited to see what Gordon can do with the full offseason on this team, competition's going to be tough at wide receiver. A lot of bodies at that position. Sure, you may not have a ton of, true guys that could be a number 1 receiver, but you got 5, 6, 7, 8 guys that are going to be fighting for roster spots. I think those top 4 right there in no particular order, Juju, McCole Hardman, Sky Moore, Marquez, Valdez, Scantling, they're all making this team. So that's 4 spots gone already. Let's say you carry 6 receivers. Okay. Josh Gordon, Justin Ross, Cornell Powell, Darius Fountain. Hell, this Justin Watson kid's been generating a lot of noise from Patrick Mahomes. You're talking about 5 or 6 guys competing for 1 or 2 spots. Doesn't mean Josh Gordon can't make it, but he's not a guy that's probably going to contribute on special teams. And if you're not a starter, you probably got to contribute in that area unless you're showing a lot. He's going to have to prove a lot. He really, really is. I think it's going to be hard for him. If Justin Ross is anywhere close to Josh Gordon, I'm keeping Justin Ross because he's a lot younger and has some more upside than a guy like Josh Gordon who's about 30, 31 years old now. So we'll see what happens. Remember, these are cut candidates, guys that could get cut. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, so keep that in mind. Let me ask you this. Do you think Josh Gordon will make the 53-man roster? Simple yes or no question. Type Y for yes, type in for no. Cast your votes down in the comments down below. Next up on our cut candidates video for the Kansas City Chiefs, Khalen Saunders, who's entering year 4. He's done some things, the defensive tackle out of Western Illinois. If you cut him, you save almost $1 million, dead cap of about $250,000 there, $228,000. With most of these guys, it wouldn't really be for financial purposes, but did want to outline what the finances would look like. I mean, entering year 4, he's going to have to take a step. I think he's done some good things, but it kind of feels like he's been stuck in neutral the last year and a half. Last year of his rookie deal, he's going to have to prove that he's worthy of a roster spot. He was on the bubble last year, made it, but didn't really have an impact on the field. You look at what the Chiefs have at that position. Chris Jones, Derek Nottie, Tershawn Wharton, I expect to all make this team. Khalen Saunders, probably that DT4 as of now. He'd probably make it, but George Karlaftis is probably going to kick inside some. I think the Chiefs could be a candidate to sign a veteran defensive tackle like an Ndamukong Suh. So we'll see where Saunders fits into the mix, but I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that he makes this team. He's going to have to earn it. Be sure to follow us here on Rumble. If you're watching on Rumble, go ahead and hit that follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, the Chiefs Report is also publishing daily content on Rumble for free, uncensored content from us here at Chat Sports. Also, you can find other content creators over there, sports, news, politics, tech, business, crypto, whatever your entertainment flavor is, you should be able to find it over there. And you can keep listening to our videos and any other videos on Rumble while opening other apps. You know how if you get a text message, you're watching one of our YouTube videos, click on the text, and the video stops playing? That doesn't happen on Rumble, so that is a bonus over there as well. Exclusive videos from time to time from us as well. Give us a follow, rumble.com/ChiefsTV. We'll have more Chiefs videos in the future. Okay, how about Austin Reiter, who is back with Kansas City right now? They already cut him once this offseason, then brought him right back. Just kind of one of those sly roster move situations where they had to free up a spot for a day. Financially, $900,000 if you cut him. That's how much you'd save. No dead cap. The reality is Kansas City, if you're going to keep Austin Reiter, who's not going to start because you don't need a starting center because you've got that covered off, is he going to give you some depth at guard? And if he's not, if it's just as a backup center, well, you can get away with just having Creed Humphrey, and if for some reason he gets hurt, well, Nick Allegretti played center in college. He could be your backup center. Darrell Williams, if he makes the team, can be your backup center. I don't think you have to carry Austin Reiter on the team if you don't want to. There's a lot of depth on the offensive line. You got the starting five. Signed Jaron Christian, who's probably going to be a backup tackle. Darian Kennard's going to make this team. Andrew Wiley has started a bunch of games. I expect him to make it. I think Allegretti is in as well. Going to carry 10 linemen? I don't know. That's kind of a lot. It's possible. Most teams carry 9 or 10, but not all teams carry 10. So Austin Reiter firmly on the bubble. Depends how much they value a true backup center. If you love the Chiefs, subscribe to this channel because we're publishing videos just about every day. We've had you covered throughout OTAs, mandatory minicamp coming next week. We'll have you covered throughout that as well. We'll have some winners and losers for mandatory minicamp. We're also going to do an OTAs winners and losers video, I believe, on Sunday, so be on the lookout for that. Also, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. More videos to come here on the channel. Couple more cut candidates here. Shane Buechele, who I really like. I do want to emphasize that I would not prefer to do this. I like Shane Buechele. If you cut him, saves just over $800,000. Here's the deal. I would prefer Shane Buechele be this team's backup quarterback. That is what I would prefer. I'd rather keep him than Chad Henne because Chad Henne's 36-37. Maybe he's a tick better than Buechele at this point, but I would prefer to keep Buechele and find out if he can be your long-term backup quarterback. I thought he showed good things in the preseason last year. The Chiefs activated him to their 53-man midseason a year ago because Arizona tried to poach him off the practice squad. Here's the problem, though. When they re-signed Chad Henne, they gave him $2 million in guaranteed money, and if you cut him, you lose the $2 million, you save nothing. So I think the way that's structured, he's going to be on this roster, which means one of two things. One, unless Buechele absolutely lights it up, Chad Henne's not getting cut. Two, it'll come down to Kansas City either cutting Buechele or keeping 3 quarterbacks. Sometimes they've kept 3, sometimes they've kept 2. Just has to come down to what Andy Reid decides when they manipulate this 53-man roster. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Backup quarterback. Would you rather have Chad Henne or Shane Buechele? CH for Henne or SB for Buechele? Okay, one more here. Derrick Gore, the running back who did some good things last year. I actually really like what I saw from him. But, undrafted guy from a couple of years ago. There's a reason he's kind of been on the bubble for a couple of years now because he's good, but, he doesn't have breakaway speed. Nothing he does is special. He kind of just does everything fairly well. You save $825,000 if you do cut loose with him. Plus, the Chiefs did draft a running back in Isaiah Pacheco in the 7th round. So you look at the depth chart, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Ronald Jones, they're both going to be on this team. Regardless of how we feel about CEH, he will be on this team. I have Derrick Gore penciled in as RB3, but you drafted Buechele. If he shows enough and you only keep 3 running backs because you're going to keep Michael Burton the fullback, you could go 3 backs, 1 fullback. If you go that route, it's going to come down to Gore or Buechele probably. One of those guys could get cut. Now, you could carry 4 running backs and 1 fullback, but then you're probably going to have to go lighter at another position. Just kind of depends on what the Chiefs value on their 53-man. But pretty decent chance one of these guys will not make the final 53-man roster. We'll have to wait and see once we get to training camp. Okay, there you go. 5 cut candidates for some notable players that I thought you guys would be interested in. Name a player that you think the Chiefs should go ahead and cut. It can be someone else on the roster as well. Obviously, they're going to cut a bunch of guys because you have to go from 90 to 53, but I wanted to focus on some guys that could be on the roster bubble, and I think that is the case with these 5 players. Okay, that's going to do it for today's Chiefs Report. Appreciate everybody for clicking on this video. If you enjoyed today's show, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. We publish videos every single day regarding the latest Chiefs news, rumors, full offseason coverage right here on the Chiefs Report. So hit that big red button, and we'll see you soon on this channel.